Hi everyone, it's Jessica from La Bruja Jessica, and please enjoy this story time of my dream with the Pleiadians. If you yourself have been connecting with Pleiadians, I would love to hear your comments, to hear your stories, to connect with you. So without further ado, please enjoy. As I began to fall asleep, an image came to my mind. I've been told that the Pleiadians like to connect with me when I'm at my most calmest. I began to see images, geometric shapes in my mind, colors of purple, pink, white, and all of a sudden, it looked like a kaleidoscope, just going in and out, in and out, in and out. And I was like, man, the Pleiadians are here. I had not connected with them for quite some time, so I was longing and missing, to see when they were going to show up, and sure enough, they showed up. When I realized that the Pleiadians were now connecting with me, I had to let go. I had to let go of all control. And when you're connecting with Pleiadians, you can't control the messages that are going to come through. You just have to go with the flow as best as possible. That's the only way to get through it. And it's not such a bad thing. It's not a heavy thing where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It's a beautiful thing where you're just kind of like, okay, what's today's adventure? What are they going to teach me today? So I was laying in my bed. I could see myself laying in my bed. And all of a sudden, an alien-like creature began to appear. It did not look like what I was used to in terms of the Pleiadians. It looked like something else. A thought came to mind of what it looked like. And only after my dream that I looked it up, I was like, yeah, it looked exactly like that. To me, the alien that was being shown to me in my dreams, it looked like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, okay? And I know that might sound a little bit weird or crazy, but it is what it is. I saw it floating, but as it was floating, it was flying over a city. And over the city was this wave, it looked like a magnetic wave, and it was just flowing and like covering the whole city. And all of a sudden I saw the houses, I saw apartment buildings. And when I got close enough in my dream, I thought, I'm gonna see people in their homes and in their apartments, but I saw otherwise. I saw everyone in their energetic form. Everyone looked like a ball of energy. And this wave that this alien creature was putting over these people was keeping them suppressed and keeping them down. I got a little bit apprehensive because I was like, what else am I about to see? But I could see that a lot of us are trapped in our mental state. There is a way to get out of that magnetic wave that this alien being is putting over us, but that obviously takes a lot of ascension, a lot of letting go, a lot of healing and accepting. Then I was shown, this is a very difficult part for me, but it had to be known. Then I was shown indigenous cultures. I could see the beauty in each and every culture. And then I was shown when the Europeans came and everything happened the way that it did. it did not feel like it was the Europeans per se. It almost felt like something was controlling to create this chaos. I felt like that alien being the one that was suppressing all these people. I felt like they were really the ones in control, the puppet masters. And they were creating this chaos that took place. And indigenous cultures were targeted. That was really difficult for me to see, because all of a sudden I saw all the death, all the children being separated from their families. And it was done on purpose. This alien being did not want people to ascend, because there was something with the teachings that obviously I was not taught, that none of us were taught to this day. There was something in those teachings long before we came into being that they needed to get rid of. Now I'm talking about the alien beings. They needed to get rid of those teachings because they felt that these indigenous cultures were a threat to them. They felt that they could help the people ascend and to get out of their control, basically. So they went into attack mode. They created chaos. They have killed a lot of people, and the teachings are all gone. I'm saying that that's a possibility. There might be somebody who still has access to these teachings. I'm not 100% sure. That's not what I was shown. I was just shown what happened, how it transpired, why it transpired. So I say that all to say is that we should not have hate in our hearts for what has happened, because to me, from what I saw, it looked like there was a puppet master who was orchestrating the whole thing from beginning to end. And then here we are now. I was now transported back to my bed. And this time I could see out the window that chemicals were being released. Chemicals that were only released at night while the people were sleeping. These chemicals are basically like a sedative to keep us under control, to, keep us sick, to keep us from ascending, to keep us from getting out of their hold. There is something here that has been controlling humanity for a very, very long time. And no, this is nothing new to our leaders. They know about this. It's just, how much do they want to give up control as well? So I was shown all these particles that were flying in the air, and it was just infecting everybody. And you have to imagine that these particles are being released in different time zones around the world. This isn't just a United States thing. This is a global thing. Aliens have been everywhere on this planet. And in each country, they're somehow controlling governments and humanity. Then I was shown how dimensions cross. It was wild to see, like, somebody from, let's just say, the 1700s or the 1800s, and they were walking, and in their mind they're just walking, and then all of a sudden you see somebody like from the 2000s, and then they're just walking, and it's like they're crisscrossing one another. And that gave me such an understanding, because so many times I have seen spiritual people and they'll be like, oh, where's the fifth dimension? And they're like, oh, it's right here. It's right in front of you. Da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, what the F is that? What kind of explanation is that? So when the Pleiadians showed me how time was intersecting within one another, that was really beautiful to see. I mean, someone from the 1700s had no idea that, you know, this person from the 2000s was existing, and they were both walking at the same rate and crossing into one another. And so this also can be an explanation for ghosts, for people who have not crossed over. I don't want to fully say that that's the full explanation, but that was just very interesting for me to see. And I think that the Pleiadians needed to show me that, because they needed me to understand that life is everlasting, that we can exist in different planes and different dimensions all at the same time, in different ways, that, you know, energy is truly never destroyed. And I thought that was really, really beautiful to see it unfold, you know, before my eyes. So then I was back in my bed again, and I woke up, and I was like, you know, they have to take breathers with me, because when you have these moments of, you know, downloads and messages, and you see things for what they are, it does rock your reality. What you've been taught to believe, what, you know, you may have thought was correct all along, even, you know, how we can just be very prideful and be like, no, it's this way. And so I was shook when I woke up. I was just like in a state of disbelief. It was, again, very hard for me to process, and I wanted to get my video out there as soon as possible, because I was like, I don't want to forget. And I haven't had time to like write it down, but I really wanted to go down memory lane here. I wanted to access, you know, the images, and I can still see them in my head right now as I'm telling the story to you guys. But yeah, so they like to take breathers with me, because they're like, hey, there's only so much her nervous system can take. And I think that that's just for anybody. You know, it comes in doses. It doesn't just come all at once, because I think that if it did come all at once, you know, it would be obviously an overload of our system. And maybe, you know, that could make somebody go crazy, make them feel like, you know, like that, like, yeah, like they're going crazy. Not crazy in the sense of like, wow, this is a shocker, but crazy in the sense that, you know, you might think that you're schizophrenic, because there's so much information coming through at that time. So I believe that that's why the Pleiadians are like, let's, you know, small increments. And when working with the Pleiadians, this is not something that, again, is scary. It's very healing, it's very nurturing. And I know that they're going to show me more, but it's just a matter of time, and it's also depending on me and how much I'm ready to take in as well. I know that I'm going to continue evolving and growing spiritually, and I'm extremely thankful to the Pleiadians for everything that they have shown me. It's really awesome to finally feel understood, to finally feel, I don't know how to explain it. It's just this wonderful feeling that now it's like, okay, you can kind of move forward and start new, start fresh. Because once you do realize that everything is a lie, that, you know, they have been controlling us from the very beginning, and once you get out of that control, you do feel brand new. You do start to see life differently, and it's almost, I'm waiting for more at this time. I am waiting for more at this time, because I'm like, I'm just so excited about what the future holds, and I'm just so excited. And I'm so excited to meet like-minded individuals, and I'm excited to meet my other light workers, my brothers and sisters who are light workers as well, because that's also something that they showed me too, was that I wasn't the only one. Like, there's so many of us, and we're all waking up and they're working with each and every one of us little by little by little. Or maybe some of us out there are like, let's go full throttle, don't care, no breaks, you know. I'm more like, no, just give me a minute, let me take a breather, and then we can get back to it. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will be putting out more content like this. This is for me to basically help people who are in the awakening process, to also show that, hey, you have community here with La Bruja in California. So don't be scared, don't be shy. Just know that you have a friend over here, a fellow light worker who is also, on the journey with you. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for watching.